Gary Francis Poste, a former US Air Force airman, is believed by a group called Casebreakers to be the infamous Zodiac Killer. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the true crime community and beyond. This group, comprised of former law enforcement investigators, spent years piecing together evidence. They meticulously analyzed old case files, re-examined witness statements, and scrutinized every piece of available information. They believe Poste terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror included a series of brutal murders and cryptic messages that baffled law enforcement and the public alike. The announcement sent chills down the spines of those who remember the case. For decades, the Zodiac Killer's identity remained one of America's most notorious unsolved mysteries. Could this be the break they had been waiting for? The Casebreakers' findings have reignited interest in the case, sparking debates and discussions among experts and enthusiasts. Poste, who died in 2018, left behind a trail of questions. His death has only added to the intrigue, as investigators now sift through his past to uncover any hidden secrets. Could this man, hiding in plain sight, be the monster responsible for so many deaths? The Casebreakers believe so. They argue that Poste's seemingly ordinary life masked a dark and sinister reality. They point to a collection of evidence they say links Poste to the crimes. This includes forensic analysis, eyewitness accounts, and cryptographic clues that they believe tie him directly to the Zodiac's infamous letters. This evidence, they argue, is the key to unlocking the mystery that has haunted generations. The Casebreakers are determined to bring closure to the victims' families and to finally unmask the man they believe was the Zodiac Killer. As the investigation continues, the world watches with bated breath, hoping that the truth about Gary Francis Poste and the Zodiac Killer will finally come to light. Poste's past held a darkness that hinted at a capacity for violence. His eyes, cold and unyielding, seemed to tell a story of a man who had seen and done things most would never dare to imagine. Neighbors and acquaintances recall a volatile temper. They spoke of sudden outbursts, moments when his rage seemed to consume him entirely, leaving those around him in a state of fear and confusion. Some even claim he bragged about killing people. These weren't just idle boasts. They were chilling confessions that left an indelible mark on those who heard them. He trained individuals in his remote California home, teaching them how to kill. This wasn't just a hobby. It was a meticulous, calculated effort to instill a deadly skill set in those who sought his guidance. Was this the training ground for a future serial killer? The secluded environment, the intense training sessions, all pointed to a sinister purpose. One chilling detail emerged. Poste's wife claimed he had a dark side. Her voice trembled as she recounted the horrors she had witnessed, painting a picture of a man who was far from ordinary. She alleged he enjoyed killing animals. This wasn't just a pastime. It was a disturbing obsession that hinted at a deeper, more malevolent nature. This disturbing revelation painted a grim picture of a man consumed by darkness. His actions, his demeanor, everything about him seemed to be shrouded in an impenetrable veil of evil. Was this the same darkness that drove the Zodiac Killer to commit such heinous acts? The parallels were undeniable, and the questions they raised were as haunting as the crimes themselves. Among the most compelling pieces of evidence was a device found in Poste's home. This device, according to the Casebreakers, was used to create homemade, untraceable postage stamps. The Zodiac Killer was infamous for sending taunting letters to the police. These letters often bore these distinctive stamps. Could this be the smoking gun? The Casebreakers believe it is a direct link between Poste and the Zodiac. They argue that the device, combined with other evidence, strengthens their case. Could this finally be enough to close the book on these horrific crimes? Another chilling piece of the puzzle was the distinctive scar on Poste's forehead. This scar, a deep and jagged line, seemed to tell a story of its own, a story that many believe is intertwined with the infamous Zodiac Killer. This scar, they argue, aligns with a detail from the police composite sketch of the Zodiac Killer. The sketch, created decades ago, has haunted the memories of those who lived through the terror. The scar is not just a mark, it is a symbol of fear and mystery. The sketch, based on eyewitness accounts, showed a suspect with a similar scar. Eyewitnesses described the scar with chilling accuracy, and the police artist captured it in the composite sketch. The resemblance is unsettling, almost as if the past is reaching out to the present. Could this physical mark be the key to finally putting a face to the monster who had haunted California for so long? The scar, a seemingly small detail, might hold the answer to one of the most enduring mysteries in criminal history. The case-breakers argue that it is more than just a coincidence. They believe that this scar is a crucial piece of evidence, a link that could connect Poste to the Zodiac Killer definitively. It is a physical manifestation of the darkness that lurked within Poste. This scar, etched into his skin, might be the mark of a monster, a reminder of the evil that once roamed the streets of California. The investigation continues, but this scar remains a haunting clue. Section 5. A brush with darkness. Poste's career as a house painter added another layer to the investigation. Paint splatters found on a watch at one of the Zodiac crime scenes were consistent with the type of paint Poste used. This seemingly insignificant detail sent a shiver down the spines of investigators. Could this be the link they had been searching for? The case-breakers believe it is. They argue that the paint splatters are like fingerprints, directly connecting Poste to the scene of the crime. Section 6. Whispers of Guilt. Circumstantial evidence continued to mount. Military-style boots found in Poste's possession were similar to footprints found at one of the crime scenes. Additionally, Poste's location at the time of the murders placed him in close proximity to the attacks. The evidence, while not conclusive, painted a disturbing picture. Each new detail, like a brushstroke on a canvas, revealed a little more of the monster that hid beneath the surface. Was Poste truly the Zodiac Killer? Section 7. The Shadow of Doubt. Despite the mounting evidence presented by the case-breakers, law enforcement remains unconvinced. The San Francisco Police Department maintains that the case is still open and unsolved. They have publicly stated that the case-breakers' findings do not provide enough concrete evidence to link Poste to the crimes. The DNA evidence, considered the gold standard in criminal investigations, has proven inconclusive. Samples collected from Poste and his family members have not yielded a definitive match to any of the Zodiac crime scenes. Section 8. A Cold Trail. The lack of DNA evidence has left many wondering if the mystery of the Zodiac Killer will ever truly be solved. Despite the efforts of law enforcement and independent investigators, the case remains shrouded in mystery. The passage of time has made it even more difficult to separate fact from fiction. Witnesses have passed away, memories have faded, and evidence has been lost or compromised. Section 9. Ghosts of the Past. The Zodiac Killer case continues to capture the public imagination, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and even fictionalized accounts. The enduring fascination with this case speaks to our primal fear of the unknown and the chilling realization that some monsters may never be brought to justice. The unsolved nature of the crimes only adds to their mystique, leaving us to grapple with the unsettling possibility that the killer may have walked among us, hiding in plain sight. Section 10. A Puzzle Unfinished. The case-breakers remain steadfast in their belief that Francis Poste was the Zodiac Killer. They continue to investigate, hoping to uncover the definitive proof that will finally convince law enforcement to close the case. However, until then, the question of Poste's guilt remains a matter of speculation and debate. The puzzle, like a shadow, continues to loom large. Section 11. The mystery endures. The Zodiac Killer case serves as a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be fully solved. Despite the advancements in forensic technology and investigative techniques, there are some cases that continue to elude even the most dedicated investigators. The search for truth, however, must continue. We owe it to the victims and their families to never give up hope that one day the mystery of the Zodiac Killer will be solved.